Hey everybody, how are you doing? So today we're talking about the Holy Spirit and about the Holy Spirit being our advocate and being our guide and like the Holy Spirit being like Jesus being there with us and giving us the words of Jesus and especially in the definitions that I gave you, that the Holy Spirit is the one who supports us and supports and is there for us. And so I've told this story before, but not recently. Not everybody knows this. People who've been with us for a while know this, but my dad, and he attends now at Lake Eaton, but my dad spent some time in prison, and back before he was in prison, and he was having his trial, and then it was time for him to be sentenced. There was like the day that he was going to be sentenced, and I knew it was going to be the last time that I was, not the last time I was going to see him, because I knew I was going to see him in jail, but I knew that it was going to be a hard day. So he had been out on bail, and so we were able to be with him. And the children kind of got to see him for the last time before he was in prison. And then, we saw him, and then we had planned, me and my brothers and all of our spouses had planned to meet my dad at the courthouse. And my dad says to me before, he says he wants me to pray with him and with the whole family and everything. And then, and I knew it was going to be a hard day, and I was just, it was just a hard thing, and I was crying beforehand. Like the day before, I spent the whole day crying, and that day my husband's office was just up the road from the courthouse. And so I went there and I just laid on the couch in his office, and I was just crying and crying. Like I cried the whole drive up, and I was just crying and crying. But I had like a whole bunch of people praying for me, like the whole bunch of groups in the church, and a whole bunch of my friends just praying for me and praying that I would have strength. Because what I really wanted to do was to be strong. I wanted to be able to pray for I'm going to be like emotional now. I wanted to be able to pray for my dad and not be like this. I wanted to have a strong voice, and I wanted to be not happy, but I wanted him to see me strong and not teary and emotional like a mess. I wanted him to see me strong. And then, so I wanted to be able to do that. And then I wanted to be able to go into the courtroom, and I wanted to be strong in there and have not a red poofy face. I wanted to have a strong face. And I wanted for when he turned around and looked at me, to be able to smile at him. And when they took him away, I wanted to be strong, not like this. And I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to do it, because I was crying like this. I was crying and crying and crying and crying. And real crying. But I had all these people praying for me, and I was praying. I was praying that I would be able to be strong, and I was like, there's no way this is going to happen because I'm a mess. But the most amazing thing happened. The most amazing thing happened as we walked, because we were so close to the courthouse. As we walked down the road to the courthouse, as we got closer and closer to the courthouse, I could feel this strength coming over me, and my tears drying up and disappearing, and my face becoming calm, and my demeanor becoming calm, and this sense of power come over me, and it was the Holy Spirit, and it's just the one who supports and promotes the interests that are good, because this was a good thing. This was something I needed to do. And everything that I needed to do for my dad, I was able to do in exactly the way I needed to do it. And I felt so close to God during that time. And it was such a thin spot. And the Holy Spirit allowed me to not cry and to be strong and have a clear voice and to pray the way I needed to pray for my dad and for the rest of my family, and to sit in the courthouse and to not cry and to be strong, and to, when my dad turned around and looked at me and waved goodbye, that I was able to smile at him and wave at him and give him an image of a daughter who was not bawling, but an image of a daughter who loved him. And then we finished up in the courtroom, and the power was still there. I could feel it. It was physical presence. And the minute we walked out the doors, it was gone. It was like it left. The thin spot left. And the tears were all back, and I was like a big emotional mess again. And that was it. It was gone. And it was like the worst day of my life, but like one of the best days of my life, because it was such a close moment with God. Amazing moment with God. It was such a neat Holy Spirit moment. The advocate, the one who speaks to you, the one who teaches you, the one who defends you, the one who supports you and promotes you. So I just felt like sharing that. It's been a really long video. I'd like to hear if you have a Holy Spirit experience like that as well, because those are powerful experiences, those thin times. That's all I have for today. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.